And this is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up. And where we look up, stay up. Stay up and boss up. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Wanna be a boss? Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and finance with Boss Up Houston, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
All right, you guys. Welcome to season 7 of Boss Up Houston Talk Show. Y'all know how we do. I'm your host, Shamir Bacon, Destin, baby. And I got the bosses in the building with me. I have Miss Amber Neal in the building. I have Miss Roxy Galvan. I'm sorry. MCLEOD in the building. Put some respect on the name. And the wonderful, beautiful, always amazing Miss Sabrina Golden.
Hello, me, guys.
You're right. With all this flowing. Yes, and we are back with season 7 of Boss Up Houston Talk Show. Y'all get ready. Listen, this is a season of seasons of seasons, but the 7th season is completion. Okay, so we've been brought back to, I feel like, the core of this thing, and God is doing some great things in all of our lives and in this as a whole. So I just feel like 7 is it. This season is going to take us to the next level. What y'all think?
I believe that.
Come on
I
here.
believe that. I can feel it. New devils.
Okay.
New levels,
Okay.
new devils. But that's what we're talking about. It's like by the time you get to the 8th level, you're like, oh, I get why it didn't happen in the time I wanted because I wasn't ready yet. And if I would have got it, I would have messed it up.
Right. And that 8th level is the new beginning. This is the completion of whatever we have started, began. This is where that first road ends and then that new beginning starts, and it's just so ironic that it's restarting with the people that it started with. So love that. Listen, we have a lot to talk about today. We are going to be talking about don't sit on the front row. Y'all know who made up that title.
I was mouthing the part 2 of that.
Okay. The comedian, honey, don't sit in the front row. So typically it's about, just not bringing don't draw things to you that you don't want to attract. Right? I mean, don't sit in the front row. If you go into a comedy show and you don't want nobody to talk about you, don't sit in the front row. If you go into the Oscars, Jada, and you don't want nobody to talk about you, don't sit in the front row. So y'all know we have to talk about it. We're going to go to a clip of what actually happened at the Oscars, and then we're going to talk about it. So y'all know how we do. I'll see y'all in a few minutes. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Richard. Wow. Will Smith.
The feed goes silent, and so does the audience after Will Smith takes a swing at Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars. It all went down after Chris made a crack about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and her shaved head.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay.
While Will appears to laugh at first, things immediately turn sour as he takes to the stage, slapping Chris straight across the face.
Richard. Wow. Will Smith.
The sound on the broadcast suddenly cut out in the moments following the altercation, but international markets saw the feed in full. Will shouting at the top of his lungs, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Clearly shaken and unsure how to proceed, Chris responds the best way he knows how with another joke.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
So what happened next? E.T. has learned that Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry pulled Will aside for a private chat during the commercial break that followed. Denzel was up against his pal for the Best Actor trophy at the show.
I mean, it's a lot of emotions. This is a long time, I think a long time coming for him. And it's a lot of emotion, and it's probably all welling up in him right now, so it better be him.
The trio hugged, and it appeared things had calmed down. A source tells E.T., quote, "The theater was silent after Will got up and hit Chris. No one could tell if it was staged or a joke at first. It was incredibly awkward for the whole audience. Will's friends and team have been trying to calm him down."
Oh, wow. Wow.
As for why the joke may have hit a nerve for the couple, Jada was diagnosed with alopecia in 2018, a hair loss condition which she has spoken about publicly many times.
And y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. Look at that. And so it just showed up like that. Now this is gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all not asking any questions.
And earlier in the night, co-host Regina Hall made a jab at Jada, which could have also contributed to Will storming the stage.
Will Smith, you're married, but you know what? You're on the list and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here.
It's also worth noting, Chris made digs about Jada when he hosted the show back in 2016, too. So there's history here. Will got a chance to address the incident when he won the Best Actor honor, his first ever Academy Award.
You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things.
Okay. All right, now I was floored when this happened. Like, I was literally watching TV. You know how you just be like, okay.
Yes. I was like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
My friend was like, is this a joke? But I was like, that looked kind of real. No, it's Actor of the Year. That's what that is. I ain't buying it.
I mean, he did win. He did win the Oscar, honey. He did win the Oscar.
He's got to come out next week talking about, just kidding. Yeah, he's got a book for sale and Chris is on tour, so hey, what's up?
Right.
His tickets went from $43 to $341. Oh, wow.
Yes,
and
I saw
body
that.
language experts will agree the whole thing was staged. Just saying, not with Jada, but the rest was definitely staged.
Right. So she was out of the loop.
She was out of the loop. they had to get her real reaction. That's why. Yeah. Yep, got it.
Goodness.
So I didn't buy it for a minute.
We got played?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actors are all actors. Like, it's Hollywood. Have we not learned anything from the Kardashians? If you got a book to sell or you've got something you're trying to promote, you cause a scandal. There is no bad press. Chris's tickets went from $43 to $341 overnight.
Like that. Yeah.
43 to $341. Mm-hmm. Even his brother Tony is making some money off of it. Shout out to Tony. I've met Tony before. Yeah. He's super cool, but he's going. I mean, every comedian. Honestly, if you look at every comedian since that happened, every single comedian I've seen has gotten on stage. I'm like, you ain't gonna slap me today. Yeah, it's gonna be slap today. I don't have a special
nephew Tommy said, "Oh, it's gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be a situation." So. I don't know. I'm a big person about accountability.
Right.
So when somebody makes a comment or a notion or whatever, I just feel like they need to be ready for whatever reaction that person has. Now, I'm not saying it's right that Will slapped Chris Rock. I'm not saying that, but
a lot of people agree with him though. A lot of people think he was right to defend his wife, but I think that professional level at the Oscars, I wouldn't do that at a hotel, let alone the Oscars. So that's kind of crazy.
I don't think it's right.
I don't care where it is. I don't think violence is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, I don't think it was right. Even if it was staged, whatever, it's not right.
Right.
It's not right. You should never put your hands on somebody. Never.
I'm just trying to think like what other scenarios could have played out, because I feel like he was thinking as he was.
Oh, wow.
The moment, so I'm gonna go back and kind of like watch it, like analyze it really, because in that moment he wasn't walking fast enough for me to say I'm just gonna go slap him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe it was an act, or maybe he was contemplating on what he should do.
No, and then he smirked after he did it. He smirked like
exactly.
So it was like
acting.
Is this staged or
He's a pro too. Like he writes comedy. He produces comedy. Like so Will should have been able, and he did. Did y'all see when the joke first hit? I could see if he said, "Girl, you look like Shrek." He didn't say that. He's like, "You look like fine." Beep beep beep. G.I. Jane. I would call me G.I. Jane. I would be so complimented.
But so this is the thing about that, and then we're gonna get to the Adam and Eve complex, right? The thing about, I think, the offensive thing is that you just have to think about it. Yes, they're at the Oscars. Yes, he's a comedian, and anybody can be the brunt of a joke. But when something is fresh on you, when you're dealing with something that's fresh, it offends you. I don't know if however Jada reacted is the way she reacted. That's the way she felt in the moment. So I don't think she felt anything maliciously. It's just fresh. It's like, this is something brand new that I'm dealing with. It's too soon. It's too soon to joke about it. For her, that's just what I feel.
What if he didn't know? What if he didn't know she had alopecia?
I didn't know.
I didn't know she had it.
Did y'all see
Will
Smith?
I think he knew.
I don't remember what.
And then what if it's a backstory of some beef behind that led to her rolling her eyes?
Oh, because they have talked. Well, Chris Rock has talked about them several times, like on the Oscars or whatever. We've never seen Will go up and slap him. We've never seen Will even say anything about what he has said before. So I just feel like this was something like that was, she just announced that. Mm-hmm. She has been talking about it like on her show, but she just shaved off her head. She just announced that she was dealing with alopecia, like seriously, to where she had to shave her head. You see what I'm saying? So I just feel like the issue was just really, really, really fresh.
Not everybody knows that.
The internet don't forget though. Y'all go back and look at Will Smith back in the 90s. He was doing jokes about bald-headed hoes. I'm just saying. So it ain't my problem he married one.
Well.
And if she was really that upset about it, there's many things she could have done. I'm just saying, I'm not saying she should be forced into that, but if you're that paranoid about it, don't sit on the front row or wear a wig.
Well, and here's the thing: sit on the front row. You got offended. Okay, boom, it's over. Like, or address it in a different way. Let's go to the Adam and Eve complex, because the Adam and Eve complex for me, everybody is like, oh, Jada sicked him to do it. First of all these men that want to be the head, want to be the man, want to be the king and all this other stuff, how you gonna let a woman tell you something and then you go and react? At the end of the day, for me, I do feel like Will should have come to her defense in a different way. Like he should have, just went up to him and say, "Man, look, that hit home," or that was too close to home. Like, dude, let's keep our wives and family.
That's not how we rehearsed it.
Yeah, you went too far, But at the end of the day, the Adam and Eve complex is that Eve gave Adam the apple, but always in this story, Adam had a choice.
Amen.
God told both of them not to eat from this tree.
And who's the head?
And so even when Eve was saying this, eat the apple, even when Eve was giving him the apple, he should have stepped in as the man that he wants or claims to be and be like, I'm going to handle this in the way that it needs to be handled.
Exactly.
Everybody's accountable for their own actions.
Exactly.
Not impulse. Impulse gets you in trouble.
Jada didn't pull Will up to the stage and say slap him now or you're gonna die.
You slap him now or we done.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Again. Oh, but we don't cheat because we're open. That's right.
Well,
get your story straight.
And that's a whole nother story.
What are y'all doing? Huh? What's up, August? Just say that's when you should have got slapped. That's when you
right then at the red table.
In August, not Chris Rock. Hey, but kudos to Chris Rock. I just want to give a big ups to Chris Rock because acting or not, I still think he handled it. Polished. That was amazing.
I know.
What would y'all done? Yeah. Somebody walked up and slapped you on stage. I already know it'd have been on. Could you held it? Could you be like, oh,
I can hold it, maybe.
I would have been like, shut the Oscars down.
Yes. I would have had my tape and my shovel. Girl, it'd have been Bayou City for real.
It would have been drop the mic for real.
Everybody on camera.
The whole stage would have been falling down. They would have had to go. No. Y'all know that color screen. It would have been.
This would have been a weapon.
Oh my God! Like scandal for real. Like scandal for real.
But guess what? You got a scandal.
But guess what? We're all talking about. Ain't no bad press.
No bad press.
Actor of the year. Ooh,
I love it.
Tears. Y'all see them tears? Ooh.
Oh, baby.
I love
Look.
Yes.
The whole time I was like, is he acting or is he for real? Like,
yes.
You don't know what to believe.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that too, because here's the thing. And Denzel, you know, Tyler Perry, all these greats, you know, came to his defense, man, let me tell you something. Samuel L. Jackson dapped him down like, all right, yeah, that's what's up.
I bet he wouldn't have slapped him.
Oh no.
Or The Rock.
Oh no, that wouldn't happen. So let's.
What if it was a woman?
That's why he walked so slow up there. Let me size him up, make sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. What was he thinking?
He knew he was little. They worked together in a lot of projects together.
Yeah, they did.
So it's not like the first time. He knew what size he wanted.
But y'all Google it. I'm telling you, Will's been just as what they call it.
No, I mean he's a comedian. I believe it. Again, I just think that this was a fresh open wound. It was still open. This is open.
But he was laughing.
He did laugh.
Until he looked at Jada.
Yeah. No, what he wanted to say was not leave my wife alone. He wanted to say leave me alone because everybody's going after him for their whole life is on display, and they're going after him.
Yeah, because even the after effect was. Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth.
Yeah.
And it was like
he was serious.
So then when
he was shaking, that's what got me to like.
Yeah, then we was like, wait a minute,
because he was like,
is this really happening?
The only thing that made me think it might not have been acting was the fact he could have got arrested or kicked out of the academy. But we also know Holly Weird has its own little cult and clique, and if you're in it, you're good and you're protected. Yeah. So nothing happened. He didn't get arrested. Anybody else would have walked on stage and slapped somebody. Would have been straight to jail. That's number one.
Where was security for him to be not to be going?
Yeah, and again, everybody was caught off. I feel like everybody was caught off guard. Everybody, like even the security guards, they were like, "What is really going on?" They was laughing.
Like, is this part of the show?
Yeah,
part of the show.
Right.
Because I bet you their viewers went up after that happened.
Oh, definitely.
But that could have been.
Yes.
The viewership was at an all-time low, and then now all of a sudden it's at. I'm telling you, they're all in on it, and watch what happens. They're going to issue an apology. He resigned from the academy. Watch what's going to happen within 6 months to a year. It's going to be back copacetic and all good. But like you said, he don't need no dang academy.
Yeah, he don't need academy.
Check his account. He said,
the Will Smith
today.
Yeah. I can slap. I can afford 50 mil. Like if he press charges, we good.
He's like, we're gonna start the Will Smith Academy.
AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Ask how to get 300 megabytes per second for $35 per month, plus taxes and equipment fee with no annual contract. No bundle required. Unlimited internet data included. Call Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Limited availability may not be available in your area. Speed, claim, rate, combined upload and download capacity of Internet 300, Internet 500, and Internet 1000 versus Xfinity Spectrum and Cox 400M, 500M, 600M, 1 gig and 1.2 gig cable service with uploads of 10, 20, and 35 megabytes per second. Download max typically 940 megabytes per second for Internet of 1,000. Speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Listen, and so Denzel told him, so this is on the serious tip, at your highest moment, when you're moving to something greater, when you're going to, like you said, new levels, new devils, when you're going to that next level, he was winning the Oscar for Actor of the Year. He's just said, when at your highest moment, you have to be careful. You have to tread lightly because the devil always tries to come in. And will. If you let him. If you let the devil come in, it will come in, and it comes from wherever.
A great acting school.
With your weakness. They come after your weakness.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right. That was it. That was the trigger. That was the trigger. That was it. So I applaud the other black men that went to his aid and kind of consoled him, kind of gave him words of wisdom. I also applaud Will for apologizing immediately. You know how sometimes these things play out and it's like they don't get an apology till a long time after. So the point that he apologized immediately, I think he did realize that maybe I overreacted or whatever.
No, he found out he's got 10 brothers. The Rock Boy is about 10 deep. Okay, that's what he found out.
But even in bullying, I feel like bullies have been bullied, so they bully, or again, that hard shell is for a reason. Like people put on a facade, or I'm trying to be hard or whatever for a reason, right, so that the real hurt or whatever is really going on doesn't really show.
And most comedians are jacked up. Let me tell you. I'm serious.
But people in general,
the funniest ones have the most horrific experiences growing up. Telling you,
I believe it. And they were talking about Chris Rock.
They talk about people, and they don't really want to talk about you, but they want to make people laugh.
Right.
It is painful because you get to that crazy point. That's why I was telling her. I said my comedy side is the part that shows my scars. Because I can be professional, but when I get into comedy, that's when everything you've been through, it just comes out. But you're trying to heal other people through it. You're trying to relate, or you're trying to say what they're thinking, but they're not thinking because it's not appropriate to think or to say out loud. So you are the person crossing the boundary. That's what a comedian does. They are the person saying, doing that extra that
because
most people won't.
Most
people won't even get on a stage, let alone take a chance. And then in today's cancel culture,
we are in a culture of sensitivity. You have to think about that. Everything is so offensive. Everything is sensitive. Everything is
nothing.
And everybody's stressed out right now. Right. Everybody's going crazy. It's like the war. We get through the pandemic. Now we got World War III, and it's like, good Lord, can we have a day without some freaking emergency?
Just breathe, right? To breathe.
Man, it was a great distraction. So kudos to the Academy. It was a great idea to do that. And boost your ratings. And congratulations on Chris Rock's book tour, his movie, his stand-up tour.
That book. And they showed that it was a line outside of the door for his comedy show and things, like people showing support and things of that nature. So
now if you saw somebody, if I saw you slap Sabrina and I knew you had a book coming out, I would go buy the book just to see what the heck. You are so messed up.
What are you saying?
Because that's the book, and that's where the tears are coming from, because he is finally releasing how he was kind of a narcissist dad. And he put his career first, and he thought that by being a provider, and that's the love language, if I've given you money, that's his love language. But she needed time. So it's a bigger problem. He's trying to make up for the damage you did to his family. That was the tears.
Come on, matchmaker.
That's why he's sensitive to what, even though she didn't say nothing, he knows he's barely holding on to that. Mm-hmm. And she's giving him a lot of grace and vice versa. But we don't know the backstory.
Exactly. Right. We kind of know because they've given us a little bit, but I was having this discussion with an actual male. And his thought or our depiction is that Jada don't step up for Will. Will always is put out and steps up for Jada and is always ridiculed in the relationship. And I'm like, no, that's like that. I don't see that. I see that he's more verbal. He talks more about it. She has just started talking about it because she has that red table. Mm-hmm. And with the red table, they were talking about other people's issues. So it's like, well, how you gonna talk about other people's issues and you can't talk about your own? Right. You see what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's when we start seeing like more of her talking about what was going on. But nobody never knows the full and true and entire story of a relationship. So at one point when I was talking to the male, I was just like, man, I just feel like people need to mind their business. Like at the end of the day, yes, they are in the spotlight. Yes, they are entertainers. But, when these stories or when these things get into the media, it's toxic. The media can control any type of narrative and put anybody in any type of situation, which is dangerous because they can make you love a person, make you hate a person. They can make you see something that they want to bring out versus what's really happening. That's why we have this reality TV that's not really reality, So you got to be careful about listening and following what the media is saying and kind of read between those lines. Exactly. I was telling Amber the other day, I'm a different kind of woke, so those gimmicks and things of that nature are just what they are for me, entertainment. It's just that, and it stops there. So I'm not spilling this over into my relationship or spilling this over into my life of what's going on with them or, oh my God, let me not do this, so I just want people not to take it so seriously, the media narrative. Like, you can form your own opinions, but going into your, like, real life relationships and real life walks, I just don't want people to take it so seriously.
I have a question, teacher. Since you were talking about you talked to a man, and maybe we say this for another show, but the big narrative right now is, can you define a man?
Oh,
because that topic has just been blowing me away. Did y'all see that? Right? We got a new Supreme Court justice being auditioned by the Senate, and one of the senators said, "Can you define a woman?" Because they're going over. Everybody's tripping on the transgender athletics. But so, can we define a man and a woman? That's what I'm talking about, comedy. That's the reason I brought it up. You can't even say that you talk to a man now or a woman. I mean, now you're offending somebody. My God. Exactly. What do you mean? What's a biological man and a woman? Do you have a uterus?
Do you have a uterus?
Okay. It's so Bridgerton.
Oh, but and then this one guy's coming out.
I love it.
Girl, one guy said he's coming out and got period cramps now.
Oh,
stop the extra. Stop it. But can we define a man or woman? Or are we offending somebody? You see what I'm saying? That's all.
That's just be what you are. And why is everybody so worried about what everybody's doing?
I have a problem with them introducing the narrative in everything. It's like everything you turn on, it's that culture and everything. Like, I don't like, it's like I don't care about in general what you do, who you are. I love people for who they are. I allow people to flourish and do whatever. I support people in everything that they do. But at the end of the day, don't push your beliefs or morals or goals. I have a problem with that in general. Like, with people in general, like people trying to push their agenda on me. I have a problem with that, and just in general. So something that I'm not into, or something that I'm really not
concerned with.
Right. I don't care either way, but you're pushing the agenda. Like, It's crazy.
And that's why I got divorced, because I was tired of doing everything the way he wanted me to do. I couldn't be myself.
Right.
If everybody could just be their self and allow everybody else
to be
who
their
they
self
are and not be worried about
They want to
everybody
control
he, she said.
everything. That's the problem. Control.
That is the problem, because at the end of the day, even in talks with my husband, when we talk about control, it's like, let me control me. You control you, and we control we. Because there has to be a balance there.
It seems like we are being controlled, though, by, for example, what happened between Will Smith. You know, everybody's like, oh, okay, well, let me go do this. Or, you know, let's check out their lifestyle. Let's try their lifestyle. Let's try this. Let's try that.
It's been that way all the way. That's why if you think about, and you have to think about words. You have to think about words in general, really, like truly. We have collaborators. We have what do you call those? It's slipping my brain. It's not promoters. It's the influencers.
So many daggone influencers.
So that word in general is put out there to influence you to do something. It's a call to action. If you notice, even in media marketing, and I'm giving y'all some nuggets and some game right now, because in media marketing, it's a call to action. So when the Kardashians are a prime example. Anybody in entertainment, really, because they can have on something and you see it, and then they push the narrative like, oh my God, I want that. If you notice, all of them have these white houses with flowers, and so now you, in your mind, it's like, oh, I might want that in my house. You know what I'm saying? The closets, those things. Yeah, it's if y'all have never watched that movie, Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Oh, that is so good.
Watch that movie.
That's so good.
That movie is so true to nature and nature of the business and the industry and life in general.
It's crazy.
Keeping Up with the Joneses. Watch that. And I ain't giving nobody no publicity, because if let me tell you something, I need a check if
right.
but that movie is really a good movie. It's a good movie to watch. As far as moral aspect, industry, and the influence.
And that's where the term Rentley came from. You don't have a Bentley, you have a
Rentley.
Ain't no future in your front, okay?
Right.
Seriously, even one of my friends who has a tow truck company said, you wouldn't believe how many luxury high-end cars I'd be repossessing. But all I was saying with that, Ross, I'm like, you live and let live. The only thing about the woman and the man thing was because when a transgender woman won the women's Olympic gold, the women are having a fit about it, because physically there is no way a woman can compete with them shoulders. There's no way. So it's not even about what you believe. It's about right and wrong. And is it fair to go compete? There's a reason women don't play in the NFL.
Right.
We're not built the same way. So that's what it's about.
But even in the same gender sports, there are classes and weights, and it's a lightweight. It's a heavyweight.
The person was compared to the woman. I'm just like, they were standing way over here.
And then you think about the advantage, and then people being robbed of their actual ability and talent. You know,
So well, you know, the governor of Florida, he said bump that and gave her the girl the first place. I mean, the girl that would have been first place without. I forgot her name in there. You know, and we want to use right pronouns. I'm not trying to say you're not a woman. I'm saying you're not a biological woman, and there's a difference when it comes to competitive events.
Especially
that's the only arena I'm talking about is just in sports. Make it fair. Come on, guys. That's why you don't have a heavyweight and a welterweight.
Yeah.
You don't
I mean, even in lifting stuff, I'm thinking about taking out the trash. Even in lifting stuff, it's like a man has an advantage.
Don't lie, girl. You know you don't be taking out no trash.
Well, that's the point.
Take away your
if you got a man and you gotta take out the trash.
Okay.
That's funny. All right, so don't sit on the front row, okay?
Don't sit on the front row, you bald-headed asshole.
Y'all, these are my ride or dies. These are my ride or dies. And if ever you sitting on our front row, honey, be ready to be roasted.
You will by me, I promise.
Yes, Roxy, any last words for the people?
No, but I can handle it. I'll sit on the front row any day. Exactly. Tell me about myself. I want to laugh too.
Okay.
I'm the same way. Like, I laugh at myself all the time. So I love laughing. I laugh at everything.
I think I would have stood up and did some kind of action like I'm shooting him or something.
Oh no!
Like just like reacted back, like don't play with me. You know, like something like that, right? Well, Amber, last words.
Well, I'm a comedian, so you got to pay to see what I think. So go to amberneal.com and buy your ticket. And hopefully my ticket, I'm gonna slap somebody so I can get my ticket prices.
Not the
You want me to go slap you?
Who wants it? Who wants it?
Oh, we need to put that in. We gonna reenact the slap.
There's been a couple times we could have the WWE in here for real.
No, let's just say in real life.
Okay. In real life, there's been a few people almost got throat punched. Just saying. Almost.
Boss up, Houston. Y'all know how we do. We do this every Saturday at 10 a.m. This is season 7 of Boss Up Houston. I hope y'all enjoyed our first episode. And there are many, many more to come. Stay locked, stay tuned. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
And this is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up. And where we look up, stay up. Stay up and boss up. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Wanna be a boss? Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and finance with Boss Up Houston, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.